TikTok. Say Kechuko will leave his wife. I leave my wife go where? You know what, Daddy Freeze? Why do you abandon your wife?
Me,
Why do you abandon? You can why? No, listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. We do not tolerate this type of nuisance behavior. You have wife and children. You do not abandon, as a man of God, you do not abandon your responsibilities.
Yeah.
Especially after being given the proper home training that your parents have given you.
Baby Freeze.
I think Yankee they recover, they go through medical treatment and everything. But madam, they sort things out. I don't understand what's on our issue be. When I today one me person they miserable with una. Now the problem be that.
Miserable, make everybody join them. Come, my baby. Huh? Did I abandon you? Have I ever?
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Say, Daddy abandoned me. That's why I'm looking like this. He just bribed you to come onto the camera just now. We didn't understand the language. I'm getting you.
No, you don't bribe, no abandon.
Oh yeah.
I want to die.
No, but you understand now. You understand what I'm saying? It's like people just create stories, miserable from a place of misery.
I'm telling you.
It's usually from a place of misery. I'm miserable, so why should he be happy?
Don't get girlfriend. Thinking about another person who abandoned his wife. You don't get girlfriend first.
Do you understand?
Got a guest here, Killz. More even hear this our guy who did with us. What are your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, Daddy Freeze. Well, thank you for bringing me live. Yeah, I can't say for sure. I can imagine what the scenario is, but I can't say for sure what happened in court, right? Because I've not seen the I've not seen the record of the court proceedings, and I was not there in court. But what I assume happened was this. Now it looks like he was brought before a magistrate court, and a magistrate court does not have jurisdiction to try that kind of offense. So what happens is that if the police they have prima facie case against somebody on the surface of it without trial, right? So in order to comply with the law that says you can't detain somebody more than 24 hours or 48 hours, depending on your location, they'll bring you before a magistrate court. And if the magistrate does not have jurisdiction, the consequential order that must follow is that the person should be remanded in prison custody pending the filing of information in the High Court. That's to say, how do I break it down now? If somebody is charged for an offense and the person is supposed to be brought before a High Court, whether a state High Court or a federal High Court, it's usually filed by the Ministry of Justice, right? And it is called, they'll file what they call information before the Ministry of Justice. So what happens is that they'll bring you before a magistrate court. The magistrate will decline jurisdiction and make an order that you should be sent to prison pending the filing of information by the relevant body, either the Ministry of Justice or as the case may be. So that's what I guess happened, because it looks like he was brought before the magistrate court.
And it shouldn't have been brought before the magistrate court, Abi.
Simple English. This is a lawyer talking. What do you want to come and tell you? Granite, them carry am go, then they say in no get case. How do you break mind instead of telling him to bring? He's talking. You're a lawyer from the last time you were on this live, so he's
yes. Okay, let me break it down. I'll do my best to break it down. Now,
don't break it down. You understand?
I better break it down.
No, that is you understand.
Because the masses don't get it.
So what happened is that it is not when somebody commits an offense, there are certain offenses that you can try in a magistrate court, that a magistrate court can listen to. Let me use trial. A magistrate can listen to
let me
the
help
case
him.
and
Any
deal with the case.
more than 10 million naira cannot be heard in a magistrate court.
Yes, it depends. Yeah. So it's not just about but now we're talking about this one is a criminal offense. So there are certain offenses that the offense, the law that creates the offense will tell you the court that has the jurisdiction to try it. So if a law creates an offense, right, from the punishment involved, that's one of the ways we're going to know which court has the power. So jurisdiction means power to try, to listen to a case. So sometimes when they have cases that they need to bring before a court, and the court that they need to bring it before is a high court, the process of bringing a matter before a high court is very, very cumbersome. It's difficult. Let me use that simple language. It is very difficult the process. It takes a long process to bring the matter before a high court. So the police, if they detain you and they believe they have a good case against you, right? In order to comply with the constitutional provision that says, by the Constitution, the police does not have the power to detain you beyond 24 hours or 48 hours, depending on the distance of the nearest court. So if they don't have because they know that they don't want to go beyond the stipulated time, what they do is that they will bring you before a magistrate court, right? Even though they know that the magistrate court does not have the power, in this case, jurisdiction, to try the offense. So the magistrate court will say, this offense you brought before me,
let me pick a call.
I cannot try it. Okay. So the magistrate will say, this offense you brought before me, I do not have the power to try it. In other words, I don't have the jurisdiction to try it. So the thing is that I'll make an order that information, that is, they should file the case properly in the high court. But for now, remand the person in prison custody. So that's usually what happens. This actually happens. Let me also use this opportunity to educate people. You see, when somebody gives you a check, you have a transaction with somebody, right? And he gives you a check, and the check bounces. It is called dot check. That is one of the fastest way to get to prison in Nigeria. Because if you push the police will simply go to the magistrate court and tell them and bring the case before a magistrate. The magistrate will decline jurisdiction because the magistrate does not have the power to listen to the case or does not have jurisdiction to listen to the case. What they will now do is that, okay, before information is filed before the high courts, remand this person in prison custody. So if the person is remanded, the person can then apply to the high court for bail, but that is another process of its own. That's what I suspect happened. I've not seen the court proceedings. I was not in court, but if it was remanded, most likely that is what happened.
I would have thought if the guy now goes and gets a very good lawyer, that they would be able to utilize that very act against the case itself. Because if you're not supposed to be brought up before the magistrate and it's just a loophole to utilize to keep you remanded, then that can work against the prosecutor's case, can't it?
No, it cannot, because that is actually the procedure. That's why it's been brought before a judge, a magistrate rather. It's been brought before a magistrate. So the magistrate taking the order is legal. It is not the police. It is not the police detaining him now. It is the magistrate that is saying, take this person to Kirikiri or as the case may be. Remand the person in prison custody. So it's the magistrate has the right to do that and say, let you guys should go and file information before.
Would the magistrate also have the wherewithal to have him released on his own recognizance?
Well, a magistrate cannot grant bail for an offense.
So how can he remand on an offense that he doesn't have jurisdiction to try? That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Yes, it's crazy. But that's the way. Unfortunately, that's the way it works. A magistrate cannot grant bail because before you to grant bail, you must have listened to the merits of the the merits of the case and all of that. But this one, the magistrate will not listen to the merits of the case at all. We're not even listen to anything. We'll just say, okay, on the face of it, there is a prima facie case against this person, right? But the way it stands now, I cannot try this case, the police cannot keep holding the person because
that's like a
the
legal
offense,
trap.
most cases where those procedures are applied are serious offenses. So they'll say, okay, remand the person in prison custody till and transfer the case to the relevant agency. In this case,
offense.
If that's what he's been explaining, like I just asked him because he says the magistrate can remand you without hearing the case. But I now ask, okay, so then does that mean that the same magistrate can release you on your own recognizance or grant you? And he's like, no, because that means that the magistrate has to hear bits, pieces of that case for them to actually be able to give that kind of, and they're not allowed
until he can get bail from the High Court.
If granted bail at the High Court, it's being remanded until being seen by the High Court.
Or the yes, he can get a bail from the High Court, or so what happens is that I've had a case where, let me not say it because the person might see it. One of my very good friends is a lawyer, so something happened in Delta State. It was a setup by the Delta State government, and then they brought him before a magistrate who they know that does not have jurisdiction. So the magistrate made an order that he should be remanded in prison custody. And that same day, NBA Warri, some lawyers in Warri went to the High Court and then got bail for him, pending even before the case started. So that is possible.
Let me ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. Someone just wrote this actually. Yeah. So in the event that the magistrate remands him pending being brought in front of the Supreme Court, or High Court, or whatever, before the High Court. What if this person is remanded and not scheduled to come in front of this High Court for is it possible for a couple of months or even a year?
Oh, it is very, very.
That's what the person just asked. The person so can someone sit inside prison for 10 years waiting to be?
Yeah. I'm telling you, there are people who have stayed in prison custody, right, over the duration of time that if they were ever
already time served
that offense, they would have served and completed it. That's the problem with the system. That is one of the problems with the system. They have backlogs of cases and all of that, and but most times the people who suffer it are the people who are poor and who don't have people to help them. If you are rich and you have money to hire a lawyer and all of that, you can always push things around. But some people are just, they don't have the right information, they don't have the money to pursue their case and all of that. It's an unfortunate situation, and that's why you discover that sometimes, once in a while, you see the chief judge of a state goes around prisons, and then see people who have been detained, for sometimes very, very minute, simple offenses and all of that. They've just been in prison all this while. They will just grant them bail and let them go.
Time served.
They do this. Yeah, they do this prison decongestion moves around. It's quite an unfortunate situation in Nigeria, but that's what happens. Like I was trying to say the other time, you see, a lot of people don't even know that issuing a check to somebody, right, and the check bounces when there was a business transaction, can send you to prison like this. It's as easy as ABC.
Because it's considered fraud.
We used to call it, because it's a fraud now. Yes, it's So what happens is that yes, what happens is that for that offense, the magistrate court cannot try it. So what they do is that if you have a smart lawyer, they will push the police, just bring this guy before the magistrate, and when they take it to the magistrate will decline jurisdiction and say you should be remanded in prison custody pending the filing of information. Unfortunately, that's the practice. That's a practice. I think that's something that whoever becomes the president, who I believe will be Peter Obi by God's grace. This is not a political talk, but yeah, you're obedient, right?
Obedience, obedified, obediated, intentional. I'm obedient everything.
Correct. You're correct.
Everybody don't want better for the country to be better person. It's that simple.
Anybody who is up
Can
Oh, this is another argument. Freeze. This is another argument that is going around. They're saying that Peter Obi supporters are so aggressive to people who are not Peter Obi supporters. No, that's not the case. What the case is that non-Peter Obi supporters are having insecurities and guilty conscience of following who they are following, because they know that who they are following has no intentions of making this country any better. And people who know that this country needs to get better are following Peter Obi. So it's not about aggression. It's more like a passive, an indirect passive aggression from non-Peter Obi supporters.
Where is your PVC?
You did Lagos.
But today, America.
I'm back on the 20th, 3 days before voting. What's wrong with you? Are we playing here?
I'm looking. If I don't see you back in this Nigeria, where's my own voter's card? Let me
hello. Hello. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Where are you? Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Not only am I coming back to vote, but I'm coming back to work. I have to work. I have to earn. You understand? So forget. I'm coming back for 2 good reasons.
All right. Anyway, lovely hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for that information. I'm glad that we had a lawyer today. There's nothing better than having intelligent people.
Are you kicking us out? Are you kicking us out?
Yeah, because I have to go and rest because I'm coming back for Clash of the Supporters, where obedience will face off against smart people from Ashiwaju's camp and genius people from Atiku's camp. It's at midnight. Don't miss it. Killz.
Bro, I need you to do one. I need you to do one special for me. The Daddy Freeze Rap Ain't Dead special.
Daddy Freeze, can I say something? Listen, on every side, right? On every side, both the other supporters of the other candidate, you have very, very intelligent people. Give it to them on both the OB side.
I'll go live. I'll go live.
But the only problem is that it is difficult to defend a bad product.
You cannot defend the bad product. You cannot defend it.
Tonight, Clash of the Supporters live on TikTok.
On TikTok,
Facebook, and Instagram. Join us live. Take care, guys. Gotta run. Love you. Kill, Baba.
All right.
I'm going live. I'm going live now because of you. Because of you, Freeze. I'm going live.
Ed, we're about to paint the town red. Huh? Know what I'm saying? Bye.